Hello, I'm Jonathan from Shooting Stuff. It's generally accepted that rifle shooters do load development and there's a significant advantage to be gained, but is load development required for handguns? Let's take a look. I was in two minds whether to do this test, but this is actually what got me started on the whole load development, is that I did not get great accuracy from my Glock, especially with some of the initial 147 grain loads. And I think this is that older load with MP 200 powder that just didn't give me what I needed. So let's see what this as a baseline does, and if the other pistols and the other ammo that I've developed in the meantime actually gives us an improvement. Okay, so this is Glock Target 1 using my old 147 grain flat point loads with MP 200. Ideally at this distance I would like them all in the black, but that's a fairly tough task, so I'll see what other combinations and other pistols can do. That was a good poor result. Okay, so the next one should be the improved load with S121 and the match grade bullet. Target number 2 with a Glock. Okay, next up is the 124 grain flat points. Slightly better than the non-match bullets, but nothing exceptional. The 124s are going higher. Clearly the pistol sighted in for this. They're going higher, and the group size very similar. Maybe a little bit tighter here than that one, but not much. So this is the 116 grain lightweight reloads, target number 4. Snappy. So the STV Scorpio 124 has been one of the most affordable commercial cartridges in 9mm in South Africa over the last couple of years. Celia and Bello 115 grain is usually a little bit cheaper, but in the 124s, which is quite a popular weight, the STV has been very well priced. So let's see what that does in each of the 3 pistols. Good baseline. This is target number 6 on the bottom right. So I suspect that is the one that I called that went high. We've got a good grouping here, but still a substantial number of excursions. I hesitate to use the word flyers these days, but I think number 4 on the camera replay we'll probably see was the one I called high, and I shot number 14. Of these, probably this 124 load shoots slightly better than anything else, but from a dispersion point of view, there's not a lot to choose between, excluding the first one. Those 147s, similar dispersion to the others. In accuracy, the 3 Bs are important. The barrel, the brass, and the bullet. The barrel is the gun in South Africa. We don't easily change barrels. The brass, I've selected S&B. It's a good quality brass. I haven't changed that yet, and I'm trying this test with different bullets to see if we can get a difference. All right, Shadow 2 OR, target number 2 with the 147 grain match bullets. The next one is going to be the 124s. Personally sighted high for my technique at least. Can probably come down about 3 inches at 25. The 124s seem to be slightly better clustered, but I think it's a small sample size still. So we'll do the 116s and then try some STV as well. 116 grain bullet at target number 4. All right, so we're going to do the STV 124s now. Okay, those STVs didn't feel too bad. The 1 minute dot in the center of this reticle makes precision aiming on these targets easier. It lines up on the size of the target better than the 2.5 minute dot on the other pistols. So these are pretty decent grouping. Perhaps that was me. They're quite far out of the rest of them. Perhaps not. Too early to say. And that's one of the reasons why a 30-shot group really starts telling you the story. This 15 shots with the STV factory ammo and the full metal jacket bullet, a harder construction than the lighter CMJs that I'm shooting up here, looks the best of all so far. The bullet weight is not really making a tremendous difference in these results, I don't think. So now we'll see what the KMR does now that I've warmed up. But alternatively, now that my trigger finger's tired, it can go uphill or downhill. Okay, so this is the KMR with a 147 grain flat point match bullet. So they're clustered quite high. I can see from here, I can't see the size of the group, but it's sighted in for the 116s. But before that, we've got 124s. 15. 124 grain flat points. So it's a little bit more muzzle flip than the 147s, which in itself is not a problem. A lot of it's going to depend on personal preference and also the accuracy of the ammunition. I thought I'd pulled one shot. Perhaps I was right. But a vast improvement on these compared to the 147 grainers. They'd shown a little bit of potential before, but even without this one, that's a lot worse than this group. So great stuff. And next up is the 116. Row right-hand column with the 116 grain round nose reloads. It's a very nice shooting load, and the biggest advantage, if this is the load to select, is that there's plenty of commercially available 115 grain stuff. So no matter where you go and shoot around the country, around the world, if you buy commercial ammo, chances are good that it's going to work in the pistol as well. S&B 115 grain should be available in most parts of the world. Okay, so these are STV 124 round nose. All right, we're good. So just looking at the three targets side by side overall, the worst dispersion comes from the Glock 17. The best dispersion is clearly from the KMR, and they're vastly different price points. The pistol alone in the Glock is around 15,000 Rand, the Spectra around 80, and the Shadow 2 OR is priced in the middle, probably in the region of 35 to 40,000 Rand. I think what I do find surprising is that the Shadow 2 OR is kind of similar to the Glock, not a big difference. As a shootable gun, the single action of the Shadow 2 design is an advantage, while the Glock gives you consistency in the trigger pull for every single shot. On this target, with the Glock 17, my initial loads here showed about a 10-inch grouping. That's really not very good at 25 meters. Starting to improve this 147 grain bullet to the match grade level showed an improvement. We also changed propellant. And as I went through the different bullet weights to a 124 and a 116 grain, there's clearly an improvement over my starting point. At the bottom is some factory ammo that, although it's got a bunch of shots tightly together, still has enough of a development. On this KMR Spectra with a 147 grain match bullet, my grouping is sitting at around 6 inches and perhaps 4 inches if I eliminate this, which is a potential shooter error. So that 4 inches is already better than a Glock, but the development comes in to take that down to something like this, where again, potential shooter error, leaving the rest in pretty much 2 inches. So a significant improvement from the 147s to 114s, with the 116 grain showing a lot of potential, and need to understand the left and right deviation with more extensive testing. The load development extends beyond reloading into appropriate ammo selection, and you can see on the bottom two targets on this KMR where the S&B 115 grain load is far superior to the STV 124 grain load. It's personal preference, but it's worthwhile doing the testing to make sure where you can that you choose the right ammunition for your particular firearm. The experts at Shooting Stuff are available to give you the right advice. Always remember that Shooting Stuff is here, giving you more time to shoot accurately.